The I.O.W. Network. What up? What's happening? What's
good?
How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the latest episode of the I.O.W. Sports Show, episode 79.
Right.
It's your boy Walkamar in the building. Detroit Mel to my left.
What's happening?
The man with the Grandmaster plan for the I.O.W. Network. Like I ain't hit puberty or something. I know. Let me clear my throat.
Right. So,
ow, have mercy, baby.
At least all that COVID and Delta.
Bro, I ain't got no Delta. Chill. Look, appreciate y'all tuning in.
All right.
How you doing today, big bro?
Doing good, bro. Good, bro.
Tired as hell, man.
Yeah, you know how it is. That's every day for me.
Because we out here grinding. But anyway,
grind on.
Let's get the preliminary shit out the way because I know it's about to cut up in a second. Y'all going over to the website www.ioftenwonder19.com. That is the website to get all the information of every last social media platform we are associated with here at the network.
All right.
Y'all going over to the website and find the Patreon. Y'all can donate and help the fellas out. You know, we grinding. You know, look at it as a small investment.
All right.
We're going to keep producing great shows for y'all, better content, all that shit. Then you can always go cop the merch.
Get that merch.
But most importantly, going over to your respective app store,
right?
And download the I.O.W. Network app. If you are a Google Android user like myself, going over to the Google Play Store.
Like this guy.
If you are Apple iOS user like Mel,
right.
Going over to the Apple Store and download the I.O.W. Network app. It's very important that you do because hour number 2 is exclusively on the network. And
that's right.
That gives you a chance to call in on the WhatsApp. Y'all could talk y'all shit, rep your city, rep your team, give a hot take. You know, you can do all that.
All that.
On hour 2. But we got to get through hour 1 first. And there is a God, and the God of football said, Tim Tebow, you can't play no more. Yes, Lord.
Bye, Tim.
Bye, Timmy. Bye, Timmy Tebow.
He should have told you can't block either.
What did I tell you? I told you there was going to be some Tim Tebow apologists that say, oh, well, he got in the way. He technically blocked him. But then another video came out of a totally whiff that he had. Like he was, of course, playing tight end, and the DN literally just swatted his ass out the way, and he blew up the play in the backfield. So
somebody said he better cop blocking than he is run blocking.
Oh shit. That's hilarious. That's funny. Damn, Tebow, better cop blocker than run blocker.
Hey,
it
is what it is.
But here's my thing: what did Urban Meyer really expect?
What he got?
He brought him in.
I think he was just trying to do him a favor because, you know, hooking the neighbor up or something.
long-term history.
Yeah,
with each
had a
other,
little history. He stayed down the street, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, now that's got to
'Cause
be
he-
awkward. He drive past his ass like
Like,
Urban Meyer come home from work. Oh, you still at the house, Tim?
Come to practice. Oh, my bad.
We missed you at practice.
Can't nobody roll on the ground like you.
So I mean, like, I'm just confused on what was the whole purpose of bringing him in. Period.
I don't know, man. It's already showing questioning Urban Meyer's I won't say leadership, but his decision making.
Well, obviously, because he hired a guy that had a allegations of him being saying some racist stuff at the University of Iowa,
Right.
the strength and conditioning coach.
Mm-hmm.
Then once he got the heat for it, ended up firing him a couple of days later.
Right.
So that was a poor decision choice.
Right.
Now you bring in Tebow,
who then took a roster spot for somebody else.
And that was kind of my biggest beef is that now that you're down to 3 preseason games, it was already a lot of pressure with 4 preseason games for people that were undrafted,
right,
or drafted in the late rounds, and trying to make it off the practice squad to actually make the 53-man roster.
Right.
So now that you're down to 3 games, the pressure is astronomical now.
Right.
Because now there's no room for mistakes. There's there's no room for not understanding the defensive or offensive scheme. There's no time to not understand nothing. You better be on tip top. It's damn near perfection at this point now. And so you bring a guy that hasn't played football in 5-6 years.
Right. 33 years old.
33 years old, played a whole different position. Quarterback and tight end aren't similar
at all.
They do 2 totally different jobs. Now you might get some kind of advantage playing tight end because you kind of understand of ball placement for a tight end. Pause. Or where you want the football thrown at.
Right.
Throw away from the defender so that I can only get ball placement.
Right.
You can understand that.
Right.
But playing quarterback doesn't prepare you for blocking. Pass blocking, run blocking.
That's correct.
It doesn't prepare you for shedding a 300 or maybe a 275-pound 6'4" defensive end, how to shed him,
right,
and still go run your route.
That's right.
That doesn't prepare you
at all.
Like Tim Tebow's been off playing baseball the last 5 years. So I never, ever truly understood the point of Urban Meyer bringing him in.
And that's what I told you something. He failed at that.
When you do things like this, now I'm really starting to question, were you the right coach that got hired?
Right. I agree.
Like, because at this point, I'm like, the season ain't even started yet, and I'm already questioning if Urban Meyer is ready for this moment to be an NFL coach. I get he's won in college, won just about every stop he was at. But that don't translate to success in the NFL.
It doesn't.
Especially when you got probably half of those cats getting more money than you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that he doesn't go in trying to coach his team like he would a group of young men that are in college and they have to pretty much do what you say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what exactly is his coaching style? What is he actually going to be able to get out of these players that the previous coach couldn't do?
So far, like I said, so far his decision making haven't shown us that he has the ability to make the right decisions at this level. Now, granted, the season haven't started. These are on a level of what he has to make decisions on. These are kind of minor things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the coach that he hired, that's more of a integrity, more of a, it doesn't really affect your ability to coach in football, more what your moral where your moral compass is.
Okay.
You know, so on that level, on that decision, it's a bad decision and a question of decision making on a level of you should know not to touch him.
He was already too hot.
You know what I'm saying? You should know, okay, I can't touch him.
You
should know this is the NFL, this is not college. With college, you can kind of bully your way in certain, if you're a certain type of coach. Like a Nick Saban can bully his way because he is Alabama football.
Hell, he owns the state of
You know what I'm saying?
Dog.
So he can kind of do that versus when you're in the NFL, you don't have that kind of weight.
No.
You know, you don't have that kind of pull. I mean, as good as Belichick is, he only got so much pull he can do in the NFL as a whole. You know, he may do a little bit in the Patriots locker room.
Yeah.
But
as in when it pertains to the whole league.
When it pertains to the whole league, you know.
He might have an influential voice, I say Belichick, throughout the whole league.
Right.
But, you know, when it comes down to it, they only going to
He's not bigger than the league.
No. Not even close.
He's not. It's not like how college is.
No, you're right.
So when you talk about decision making, it doesn't. I can't really, because the season hasn't started. I won't say that it might affect his ability to coach, but still give him a side eye because you should know not to touch him. Then when it comes to Tebow, now that more speaks to your coaching because you better know how to evaluate that player. You played with him. You've seen him. You had to see him play when he was in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he has so many strikes against him. He was stiff. He was past his prime. He hasn't played in a while.
A long time.
And he never was a top notch.
He wasn't a
player.
He wasn't nowhere close to the top tier.
So he was a top notch player.
That'd be something different.
That'd be something different. So yeah, he hadn't played a while, but maybe we can recreate some of that magic. You know, you can have something to kind of draw from. He has so many negatives. Why would you put him on the team? Then on top of that, he's like you had mentioned, you taking roster spots.
Which is, to me, that's the biggest thing. Is because I don't know if, you know, I get it. I don't know if Urban Meyer ever made it to the NFL. I know he played ball, but I doubt he did. But, you know, at some point he should understand the importance of a roster spot. And just freely just give that away to a person that's not going to contribute to your team. And obviously he's not now because he's been cut.
Right.
But as a player, I'm like, fuck you bringing this motherfucker
right
for?
Why he here?
Yeah. Well, you
we already got a team minister. No need him.
We already got a team chaplain.
We already got a team chaplain. We good. We good. We don't need the nigga.
Fuck you good for it.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Is he passing that towel?
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Is he going around with the Gatorade?
Right. He an altar boy?
Other than that, we
don't need him.
Yeah.
What he good for?
And that's a shame.
He don't look good in the dress. We don't need him. We good.
But like I just, first of all, Tebow wasn't even a nowhere close to even a good quarterback.
Right. In the NFL.
In the NFL.
Right.
So what magic was going to ever be recreated? What kind of, I get the sentimental, association with him and Tebow, but, possibly maybe sell tickets.
Okay, here's my thing. If you have some kind of sentimental thing, put him on the coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look.
Yeah, but what he gonna coach?
But
don't say quarterback.
Well, he can be an assistant to the assistant. You know what I'm saying?
To the assistant
and learn. Start at the bottom and learn.
Work your way up.
And work your way up.
Yeah.
Because he still has some football knowledge.
Oh no, I'm not going to diss on him.
Right, he probably has some football.
He
has some football knowledge, so he probably has some things he can probably teach.
Yeah,
and just learn if he wanted to go the sentimental route.
Okay,
put him on the coaching staff.
I hear
you can make up a coaching position. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It could have been assistant to the linebacker coach or
either water boy or team chaplain. That's the only thing I brought his ass in for.
That's it.
That's it. Because he's not going to bring any kind of value to that squad. And you're talking about a franchise that needs to change their culture.
Right.
You're talking about a franchise that needs to get on some kind of winning ways.
Right.
You're talking about a team that has been a habitual disappointment year in and year out.
Right.
And you're doing shit like this, is like, if I'm a Jags fan, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna suck again.
Right.
Because he
got poor coaching.
Urban Meyer isn't doing anything to sell this team to his fans to say that, hey, we're gonna be competitive this year. If he says that, them fans is probably like, bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. You lie.
Right.
Now, you had mentioned Nick Saban a second ago, sidebar. So Nick Saban just signed another contract extension a couple of weeks ago. He's getting paid about $10 million a year at Alabama.
Yeah.
Now, when coaches...
He's the mayor of Tuscaloosa.
Man, no. He is the man of Alabama.
He's the governor of the state.
Boy, Nick Saban can go to a restaurant and just slap his balls on the whole restaurant, people included.
Remind me not to go to that restaurant.
and ain't shit gonna be said. Matter of fact, people probably won't even watch the spot that the balls touched. Oh, I just got touched by the great Nick Saban. His balls touched my elbow. You know, and they won't watch their elbow.
That nigga nuts is in the hush puppies.
Wait, are those hush puppies or those nuts?
Right.
What are those? So it's like, he is a made man in Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
So when a coach in college is getting paid $10 million a year, this further proves why the NIL is important for the players. Because and I get the importance of Nick Saban.
Right.
Because we're not going to downplay the importance of a great coach who's going to be a great leader, who's going to set the tone, who's going to set the, just the whole atmosphere of that program.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he doesn't sacrifice his body on the field, no matter what.
That's true.
He can come up with the scheme, offensive scheme, defensive scheme, no matter what. He still needs those young men.
Bodies.
He needs those young men to go play ball.
That's true.
So I don't want to hear no more coaches in college moping, bitching, complaining about the NIL, which is name, image, and likeness for those who don't know.
Right.
So I don't want to hear no more of that crap from any coach, because there's even head coaches in college that are getting paid more than pro coaches. And here's another thing that most people don't realize. In college, most of those big universities, of your Power 5 conferences like Bama, Texas, Clemson, their facilities are top notch. And some of those players that come from the program end up going to the pros, and they're like, oh, I thought this was the NFL. I thought it was going to be like a lot of glitz and glamour with certain facilities. And some teams do got great facilities. Cowboys, Jerry Jones is going to spend bread because he knows he's going to get it back.
Right.
But there's facilities in college that are a lot more extravagant than NFL facilities.
True. That is true.
And so all this money just flowing in and out of every university that got a football program. And so this is the reason why I'm totally fine with the NIL. Totally fine with it. Because,
I agree.
Because these players got to get you got to get some type of compensation for your NIL.
Right. I mean, you making money off the players. So
yes.
If you making money off them, it's only right they get some kind of cut from it.
As far as I know, that's called being an employee.
I mean, you think about it like this. Nick Saban, we talk about the importance of Nick Saban, but most people can name more college players. Can they name more college coaches? Now the coach is probably more popular in that particular city, that particular state, maybe. Yeah. But outside that city or state that the college is in, you'd be hard pressed to see more people be able to mention players over coaches. Saban is one. Freeze may be another one.
They gonna talk about Dabo.
Yeah, Dabo Sweeney.
Brian Kelly.
Yeah, maybe
Jim Harbaugh.
I mean, they might get some props because Ohio State got some visibility, but I still don't think people don't know Day over like Harbaugh or something. Yeah, Ryan Day. There's one more I was thinking about. Oh, and Lance Miles.
Oh, Les Miles.
Yeah, Les Miles.
Yeah.
You know, maybe those names people might know.
So I like them college co-eds.
Right. Right. You know, that's a whole nother story. But you know, those might be names people know. But outside of them names,
yeah.
Who really know any other coaches?
You got to be like a hardcore fan.
Yeah, you know, you got to really be into college football. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, so then now you got the players that people know because when they throw the jerseys, no one's throwing on the coach's polo. You know what I'm saying? They buying jerseys with the name.
I'm dressed like Nick Saban.
You know what I'm saying? They buying.
You just look like you just got an Alabama polo on,
right?
And khakis.
Right, nigga, you just got a polo on.
Yeah, I look like everyday wear, motherfucker.
So you know they buying jerseys. They buying jerseys based on those players, mm-hmm. And so you selling jerseys. You know, you get the cheap ones, $150.
Yeah,
you know, you got some $200-$300.
Shit, more.
You know, throwbacks even more.
Shit, my custom jersey I got of my Chiefs with my own name on it, mm-hmm. was like $350.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
so you're looking at them paying that kind of money,
and I got 2 of them.
Right, you paying that kind of well, just people in general paying that kind of money.
Yeah,
let's say $200 make it even. You paying $200 for a jersey, right? And that particular store may sell, say they sell 1,000 a day.
No. Alabama, they selling now.
Well, yeah, right.
They gonna sell out.
So they sell all those jerseys today, and not one of those, not one dime is going to the player.
Before this year, of course.
Right.
I don't know, and that's the thing. I don't know how they're gonna work that out. Like if they start doing with the jersey sales and all that, because they've been selling jerseys. Well, they would just throw the number on it. But
here's the thing.
You knew who it was.
Here's the thing. From what I've been hearing,
yeah,
it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. It's gonna just let everybody kind of do what they're gonna do, and I think what they're gonna do is like when the dust settles, then they start making rules, because you got some cities that saying, okay, I'm gonna give you $10 for every jersey we sell. Mm-hmm. You got some saying, I'm just gonna just give you money, boom, for the jersey. You know, or you got some people coming up front. You got, you know, so you got different cities, different places. Like I know MDN did something with Michigan where I think it's $10 a jersey. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, there's no really concrete set of rules of how they're gonna pay players. I mean, but I'm not mad at that, because I think for something like this that needed to be in place for a while, I think you should kind of see what works and what don't work, you know, and then kind of say, okay, let's try to like make some regulations, because I think if you came in with regulations, you still would have had some of the same problems.
You still would have some
because no one knows, because nobody really knows what's gonna work and what's not gonna work.
Yeah,
you know, and you make a regulation based on what you think may work or what not work, and it still might not work.
It still come along.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
So I think like once you kind of let the dust settle, it's okay. Here's what we need to do.
And to your point, you know, if you come in with rules and regulations, people are still going to try to find ways around it.
Right.
So, you know, boosters or whatever, mm-hmm. you know,
right.
They're still going to try to find ways.
You back to the same problem.
And you right. All he did was just upgraded the boat of problem that right. you was in.
Right.
You went from a little speedboat of problems mm-hmm. to just a yacht of problems.
Right. And I think I think what they should do, like once the dust settles, it still should be something minor that they change. Like say for instance, let's take the $10 a jersey thing idea. Say, okay, that's not really enough money because you generate X amount of dollars. Say,
and you always selling out,
right? You know, so say, okay, maybe put a percentage on it. You know, the player needs to get this amount, this percentage,
20% of jersey.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing, and just kind of like tweak it from there. I think you should.
20% be a lot,
right? Yeah, right.
Especially you sell out.
So I look at it from that standpoint. I don't think they should be coming and say it's got to be $50 a jersey. You know. That might not work, but maybe do a percentage, and it's kind of just different ideas to see what works. I think that's the best way to do it, because you want to be not only fair to the player, but fair to, if you just talk about merch, mm-hmm. fair to the merchant. You know, you come in and say they got to have 50%. Well, that might not be beneficial for the merchant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's kind of defeating the purpose. And even with speaker engagements, you got some players getting $500, some players getting $10,000 to show up.
Yeah,
you know, just to speak. So. Yeah, I think those little minor things need to be worked out, but I don't think it should be like just like a guideline. Like the NCAA in 5 years may be gone, or either gone or retooled somewhere a different way.
As a whole governing body of
Yeah, because
sports.
in a minute, what you gonna need them for? I mean, think about it. The Power Five already took the power out of their hands.
You
You know what I'm
see SEC.
Well, yeah.
Everybody want to join the SEC.
I'm just saying they already took the power out of their hands. So only place that really left to govern the small schools for right now.
Yeah.
But once this thing with the SEC and all that stuff shake out, because now the SEC is getting Oklahoma and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Now the rest of the conference gonna have to make moves.
Yeah.
So once once the other bigger conference take the rest of the bigger teams, then what's gonna do with the small teams?
They gotta go somewhere.
They had to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Then they might form a power conference of a small team themselves.
Yeah.
So then what you need the NCAA for? You know what I'm saying? So
which has always been funny to me, because you got the NCAA, who's supposed to be the overall governing body,
right?
But then SEC has their own governing body, mm-hmm. So does Pac-12, mm-hmm. Big 10, Big 12, whatever. Right. They ACC, all got their own. Right. Yeah, they all got their own. So to your point,
side deals with TV deals, and stuff like that, their own networks.
What are you good for?
Right. Yeah. So I see them either going.
You're a pointless governing body.
Going away or rebranding themselves or something different.
I mean, they're gonna have to rebrand themselves as probably, I hate to say it, but they're like kind of like how you got, federal government laws and then you got state laws.
Okay.
So but I'm not sure how they're gonna play it, as in, hey, our rules and regulations supersede yours.
But see, that's why I don't think the NCAA as a governing body is going to be necessary anymore. Because the way things are looking, I think they need to either, I don't know what their role would be, but as a governing body, I just don't see them being necessary in about another 5-6 years down the line. Because you got so many independents. I mean, Notre Dame is a wild card.
They've always been independent.
So
at least in football.
My personal opinion, Notre Dame and Michigan need to squash their beef, and they need to be part of the Big Ten. It just makes sense.
I get what you're saying, but Notre Dame has been independent in football for so long,
right?
And they made their own money with their own NBC contract deals.
Times are changing, though, and
I get times are changing, but they still have always made money solo in football,
right?
And if they can probably make a deal with a conference that they can probably make more than what they're currently getting, then I can see that happening. But if they looking at, oh no, I'm bottom line looking real good over here with this NBC contract and being solo and independent in football.
Right.
Wait. Oh, you want us to share revenue? Motherfucker, we ain't shared shit in years.
But here's the thing about Notre Dame. Notre Dame been a big name since I can remember.
Since forever.
But how name in the last 3 years, name good players that came out of Notre Dame.
What was old boy that just got drafted to Cleveland?
Yeah, I know you're talking about
Jeremiah. I ain't gonna butcher his fucking last name.
The linebacker, African guy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna fuck up his last name.
That's one. I mean, even Julia what's his name? Okor. He ain't a superstar. Mateo, what's his name?
What,
Mantateo?
Oh, with the catfish ghost girlfriend?
With the blow up girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? What's the quarterback? The black dude.
What was his name? He ended up transferring to Florida State.
Yeah.
Damn it, I lost that motherfucker's name.
I'm saying, but he's not a superstar.
No.
So I'm saying, they're not producing Jerome Bettis no more.
Well, to their credit, Notre Dame has been in the playoffs a couple of times. I mean, they get slaughtered every time.
Right.
But they're there.
Even the Notre Dame USC game is not as big as it used to be.
Not even close.
Not
even close. I remember was that 05-06 when Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and that Notre Dame, the push in.
Right.
that game was bananas.
Right.
And that took that rivalry to another level.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like that no more.
It's not like that.
Both programs is kind of down.
Mm-hmm. Now, you take Notre Dame, put them in the Big Ten, and if Michigan ever can get back to what it used to be, you have Ohio State.
Yeah, good luck with that, cuz.
I think they can. They get rid of Harbaugh.
They just gave him an extension. He ain't going nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why
that
they
dude
gave
is
him
not going.
I just know.
No.
That's a whole nother discussion. But
he's one of the highest paid coaches in college football. Too.
Right. But Michigan still carries something with it. Still got Ohio State. Indiana's starting to come along.
Yep.
Now you got Notre Dame.
Northwestern's kind of
Northwestern. They like 500 team.
Yeah. But they can upset you.
Now, if Nebraska can get back to where they used to
be at. Scott Frost is under investigation right now, so he got other issues to worry about.
Understand, and then no telling who they can pull in else with them. That would be an attractive conference.
I think the only team that they for sure would bring in will probably be Kansas.
I'd like to see Kansas or Kansas State.
But it wouldn't be for the football purposes.
For basketball.
Definitely the basketball purpose.
But for football, I like to see Kansas State. Kansas State always have a decent football team.
Yeah. So, I mean.
TSU.
Honestly, they should. If the Big 12 blows up, because you're losing Oklahoma, Texas, that's a huge loss.
Right.
I don't care how you slice it.
Right.
That's a huge loss. You got two of your popular teams in that conference are defected.
Right.
And that leaves you with a whole bunch of just, mediocre.
Here's the thing, too. I would like to see the Big Ten, when they go after schools, be strategic about it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to TSU. Now you're in the Dallas market. You're in the Texas market.
Oh, TCU?
Yeah.
Texas Christian.
What I say?
TSU. I'm like,
Texas. Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Texas Christian. Horn Frogs. Who's one of the Horn Frogs?
It is TCU.
Yeah. All right. The Horn Frog. The one that Opie Cunningham came from.
And we'll talk about him in just a second.
But anyway.
Opie.
Now you're in the Texas market.
Yeah.
So
huge market.
Huge market. So you can start recruiting down there.
Mm-hmm.
Start recruiting in the Midwest. Then you get Kansas. That's good for your basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and that's part of the Midwest out that way. So you got people in Iowa you can recruit. Those all your linemen and defensive linemen, and big corn-fed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big corn-fed boy. I played high school ball in Iowa. And boy, when I say these corn-fed dudes, like you're not gonna get, a lot of speed, but them offensive line dudes.
Oh yeah.
Like they produce offensive line.
Right.
Like I swear they be pushing tractors like every weekend, bro. I swear. You get some big bastards.
So that's my thing about that. I think they should be strategic. They just need to start doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wait.
Yeah.
They should be doing it now.
Because Texas and Oklahoma didn't wait.
Yeah.
They're looking at their future.
They're trying to push that thing
picture.
Quickly. They're trying to get done quickly.
I know they said it's supposed to go in effect at 2025.
I think I'll get done before then.
Oh yeah, they're gonna drop some bread for it.
Could we think about it like this? And I can't remember if somebody said this too. I was thinking the same thing. But I think somebody. What up, though, Van?
Van, what up?
With that.
Yeah.
Damn, what the hell I was about to say?
I don't know.
What was you saying before?
No, I was saying. Damn, I just forgot what the hell I was saying.
That weed is like dropping back and forth, nigga.
Nah, you ain't gonna blame that on me, dog.
And we was talking about Texas.
Yeah, the Texas market. Oklahoma and Texas leaving.
Right.
And the Big Ten being strategic about
pulling that thing out. Oh, speeding up the thing.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the thing.
They're gonna drop bread.
But not only that, think about this. If you Oklahoma or Texas, I already told you as the Big 12, I don't want to play with y'all.
Yeah, I'm already leaving.
So now I'm gonna sit 4 years.
Yeah.
Disgruntled.
Yeah.
Or 4 years, and that's like you telling your wife, "Look, we gonna get a divorce in 2024." You know what I'm saying?
So enjoy it.
So enjoy what you can now.
Because I'm leaving.
You know how disgruntled that whole household gonna be.
Boy,
you know how toxic that is?
I would hate to live in a toxic situation like that.
I be sleeping with 2 eyes open.
Hey, you better learn how to train to sleep with your eyes open for real.
And it's the same kind of thing. You know, you in a conference where you already put out there you only want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's true. That's true.
And then recruiting wise, why want to come there?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, y'all leaving anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so they're gonna try. It's in the. I think it's in the interest of both parties to kind of speed this up, get rid of now, so you can see what you got, what you have left. In the Big 12 thing, get rid of them, see what we gonna have left, see what we need to do with our conference.
Start strategizing.
Start strategizing.
But to the Big 12, what they and to your credit, because I agree 100% with your point.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to Texas, Oklahoma, and be like, look, that's our price that we want.
Right.
Because obviously y'all don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't gonna beg you.
Right.
That's what we want.
That's what we want.
And it's not like the school can't pay it.
I mean, Rutgers had to do the same thing. They went to Big
when
10.
they went to the Big 10.
I think Nebraska did. A couple other teams, they just paid their way out.
Yeah.
You know, like I think say like the price was like 76 mil. They ended up negotiating to 50.
Mm-hmm.
They paid it. Boom, we out.
We out.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's probably gonna end up being the same thing.
Oh, exactly.
You know.
Because what's the point?
And that was Rutgers. So you talk about Texas and Oklahoma, they got the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so like, hey, we're just gonna stick around.
Right.
I hate you though.
I don't like you, but we're gonna stick around. I don't understand why the heck we get Rutgers anyway.
In the Big 10.
It's like what benefit? I can understand Nebraska. Nebraska's a storied program.
And they're close.
And you would figure they'll come back somewhere. Hopefully you thinking they'll get back to where they used to be somewhere down the line. So
don't hold your breath.
But Rutgers. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard.
I mean, they had a few players though to come out of the football program.
Cordy twins.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Here and there.
Cats here and there.
But it's like besides that, you trying to get in the Jersey market, I guess. I don't know. That's all I can think of. What up, though, Mel?
Melvin Wall, what's
Mel
up?
Say Thug Life.
Shout out to Melvin Wall and the Whole Man Down Podcast Network.
Yeah, so I never understood that. What Ben say? They got Rutgers so biting teams can't recruit in the Big East. Okay, I can understand that. I got you. So they kind of got Rutgers for that market. For
kind of like Eastern New York metropolitan area.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool, whatever. But, they don't, Maryland. I don't know how Maryland ended up in the Big 10.
Maryland good in basketball, though.
In basketball, yes. Now, if you saying like specifically, I don't know what exactly specifically that they brought him in for. What the hell Mel say?
Mel said why we switch spots.
Oh,
it was an accident, Mel.
There it is.
There it is.
Look, they got to figure it out.
Right.
So, but at the end of the day, I know we just went through a whole rabbit hole because it's good to see that the players get the NIL because there's a lot of money that's getting passed around through college sports, period. So I love that. Of course, you got preseason NFL.
Right.
Tonight we got the Eagles and the Patriots tonight.
Mac Jones.
I'm excited to see. I hate to say it. I want to see Mac Jones progress.
I'm not rooting for any nigga with Mac in his name. Just say it.
So I'm looking forward to see what happens. They're the only preseason game tonight, so it'll be on the NFL Network if you have it.
I do thanks to Lamar.
Kind of like we were talking about last week or Monday. Cam Hassett he needs to have a good game tonight. Cam needs to start showing that he's worthy of that number one QB position.
I'm not sure, Melvin, but I think he should get the first string. Mel says that Mac getting the first string minutes tonight.
He should.
He should.
I don't know if he is because look, Belichick keeps saying that Cam's the guy. I'm not sold on that because his play hasn't showed me that he's
the guy.
sold to be the guy.
Right.
Now, Mac Jones, I thought he
looked decent.
He looked good.
And until Melvin's point,
yeah,
that's why I think he should get the first string minutes so you can see what he looked like
against the ones.
And
if he has a great game tonight against the ones,
you got to start him. You got to start him.
If Cam,
that's your future.
Look, if Cam cannot win the job in week 1, I don't know if he's in the league next year.
Somebody take a chance on him.
For what?
It's always somebody.
But for what?
Look, man.
We got
Marcus Russell.
But I'm saying
a starting position.
And soon as the tape and the film was on him, we knew what we was. You got film and tape on Cam. At this point, 10, 11 years of it.
Yeah.
For what?
Now, to your point, let me say this. He had some flashes.
Yeah, 1 year, 2015, MVP season.
No, that was his best year. But I'm saying he still had some flashes where I would say, okay, I'll take a chance on him. It wasn't until recently that he looked like garbage.
No, man, I'm big. I'm big on talking about Cam.
But you are hard on Cam. And my thing is like this. The thing is like this. Compare Cam to other lower tier quarterbacks.
And he barely beating them out.
But my thing, I'm talking about his career. I ain't talking about
career.
Recently.
Okay.
I ain't talking about recently. I still say from the eye test, if you are in need of a quarterback up until recently, you'd have took a chance on him. What I say was he a top tier? No. But I'm saying.
So you're saying if your starting quarterback got hurt,
right?
You need somebody.
Okay. You would say, that's fair. I'll plug him in here.
That's fair. That's fair.
Trent Difford went to a Super Bowl. I keep saying.
No, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I can see that's fair. That's fair.
Now, recently, especially last year, and I'm gonna read what Melvin said in a minute. Especially last year, he looked horrible. Well, let me see what Mel said, because he might say I'm about to say. Do you buy that Cam had an unfair shot with being signed late last year, having no training camp, no defense, opt out, no wideouts, and COVID? Cam is still a starter in this league. Now, I'm gonna say this, man. Well, go ahead.
Look, I don't want to say it's unfair to Cam. It was unfair to every last player on 32 teams last year. Everybody was in the same situation, had the same obstacles to deal with.
Right.
You had those who made the point and to make the plays, and Cam didn't. Period. I think every last person that played in the NFL last year all had to deal with the same exact obstacles. There's no difference.
I will say this to your point and Mel's point. Yes, New England lost a lot of players last year.
That's fair.
They did. And yeah, you right. And Mel said, well, without training camp. And all those are legitimate things. But here's my thing. At that level, some of the things that Cam was doing, like throwing the ball in the dirt on an out route.
I'm telling you, he can't hit a damn out route.
It's unacceptable.
Worse shit.
You know what I'm saying? That is unacceptable for a starting quarterback.
Period.
If you're a third string, we expect that.
No, I'm still expecting you to hit that out route.
I'm just saying.
My thing is once you got to the NFL, my expectations are higher for you.
Right, I agree.
Because you are at the epitome of the best of this sport.
But we talking about starting now. Starting quarterback, and you throwing the ball in the dirt to an out route like you trying to hit Bushwick or somebody. That's ridiculous.
Hey, Ant, catch it.
Right. You know what I'm
catch
saying?
it, Ant.
So I don't think that's more my reasoning behind Cam. I mean, it's not about. I take in consideration what you said, Mel, about not having the players, COVID, catching COVID, all those things. But then here's the new year, he's still looking the same. He
still look the same. There's no, and here's the thing. If you look at that preseason game last week, and I know Cam didn't get a lot of snaps, there wasn't, to your point, I saw the same Cam from last year in that preseason game.
Right.
I need to see Cam and we said this Monday, he needs to play like 2015 Cam to secure that job.
Right.
Period. Because you know Belichick, the media knows Belichick, the whole world knows about how Belichick theory is. I like to win. If you don't give me the best chance to win, you don't play.
That's true.
And so if Mac Jones goes against the ones and lights it up, he's going to feel that pressure from not only from the fan base. I bet you they're going to be talking in the locker rooms. Hey, man, Mac Jones killed that shit tonight. Nah, Cam was looking like straight garbage.
All right, let's see. Mel said Cam is 100% football player playing in the QB position. Other quarterbacks have to make all the throws, but Cam makes up for the throws. He don't make up the throw with his legs. Okay, but he still ain't 100% running now. He ain't the same Cam running he was before.
He's at this point, he's short yardage Cam.
Right.
He look. I will always give Cam his compliments.
Mm-hmm.
He's a red zone threat.
Right.
No matter what. He's liable to, at least get the short intermediate passes when he's accurate on them to get the touchdown. He's also still a running threat in the red zone. I will never take that away from him.
Right.
He will give you touchdowns, majority of it on the run. But in today's league, where the quarterback is your most important position and you have to make the throws, I'm not 100% on board that Cam can make the throws that you need to as a quarterback.
Right.
And to me, that's always been his biggest knock.
All right, Mel. Mel says, Mac looked promising, but I promise you this. He's going to make your words look bad. If they throw him out there, don't be fooled. To a degree, Mel, I kind of agree, because that's why I prefaced my statement with saying I want to see how he look against the ones.
Of course, I think we've all kind of came to the same agreement. All the quarterbacks from this year's draft that got drafted in the first round all look pretty good. They made certain plays. They've all kind of looked a little bit of deer in the headlights, a little nervous at points, made a couple of mental mistakes. Some of them held on to the ball too long. We get that. But what I'm saying is, as in for your future, especially with the Patriots, you just made all these free agent signings, spent the most free agent money that they've ever done. Right. And you're trying to get back on track, because I don't care if I don't care what anybody says, and I'm pretty sure there's not a story written out about it. Belichick had to have been sour seeing Tom raise that trophy without him last year. I don't care. That's just human nature, because we were tied to each other for 20 years, had so much success. There's always been a debate of who do you give the props to, who was the driving force of those 6 championships. Right. And now the quarterback that was part of that situation gets one without the coach. You don't tell me that's not eating at his ego a little bit? It is. It has to be. So I'm saying if Cam doesn't even come close to at least a good separation between him and Mac Jones, I got to go with Mac Jones. Right. I'm going to speak to what you said, and I'm going to read Mel's comment. Yeah. But here's my thing about the whole Cam situation. And I'm going to read this first comment. Mel said, do you want TDs or pretty throws? Of course we want TDs. Yeah, I want TDs. How many TDs did Cam get last year? Cam had less than 10 throwing touchdowns, and he had double-digit running touchdowns. Right. So I think total at this point, total 20. Man. Now going back to Mac Jones, I just like the way he looked poised. He did. He didn't look nervous. No. And those kind of 1 or 2 times he held on to the ball. Right. So those are kind of, I looked at some of the intangible things when I was watching him, because I understood he wasn't playing against the number ones or with the number ones, as far as his offense and against number one defense. So I more looked at, okay, let's look at the intangible things. Is he anxious back there in the pocket? How's his reads? Is he reading? Is he going ahead and hitting the check down when he don't have anything? Those kind of things. And from that standpoint, I think he looked decent. Now, yes, he need to be tested more to see how he look against number one defense and playing with the number one offense. So I'm not 100% saying that Mac Jones is the man. Yeah.
I'm just going by what I saw Cam do last year compared to he came into this year, still throwing the same. And then what you reading and seeing about training camp and how Mac Jones is beating all three of them out in training camp.
Yeah. Look.
And they saying Cam wasn't even doing better than this third string quarterback.
So I'm in, just to throw this out there.
Mm-hmm.
Cam played 15 games last year, started off 15, went 7-8 as a quarterback. You got 8 throwing touchdowns and 10 interceptions. I can't rock with that.
Sound like Jameson out there.
I can't rock with that. Rushing. So yeah, he's going to give you, like I said, he got 12 rushing TDs last year. I get it. So
but most of them was inside the red zone.
Red zone. So you bring only 20 touchdowns. More than half of it is rushing.
Right.
If I want that type of production, I'll just run the damn Wildcat. I need a quarterback. You can't win in today's NFL without a quarterback. That's just how the league is set up and how it's running right now. It's been pass heavy for the last almost 10 years. And now that you add another game, the passing records might just get obliterated now. Because just look at Kansas City, pass happy. Buffalo has gotten away from the run.
I was saying, who is he doing?
Pass happy.
Okay. Let me speak to that.
Oh, no, Mel, you got a point.
But hold on.
There ain't no top receivers.
You have a point there, but I'll say this. Okay, Melvin said, I need one of y'all, both of y'all on the man down to discuss each division.
Which one? When day?
Just tell us what day.
Tell us what day.
And then he said, who is he throwing to? But see, I think you're missing my original point. I don't care if you throwing it to, the worst receiver in the world. If you're not hitting him in his hands, if you're not hitting him in his chest,
I don't know. I can't let you say that.
If you're not being accurate.
Because you, as a Lions fan, know damn well that a lot of those throws that went to Megatron, that was Megatron.
Well,
and that wasn't necessarily Matthew Stafford.
You're missing my point. My point is not the quality of receiver. My point is, even if you don't have a quality receiver, you still need to hit him in his hands.
I get that.
Be accurate. You need to put him in a position where they can't catch the ball.
I get that, and I'm with you with that. But what I'm saying is, you can't take out the factor that there's a lot of times that a receiver can aid a quarterback.
I agree.
And if you ain't get,
but okay, going back to your Matthew Stafford point. I'm gonna go back to your Matthew Stafford point.
Okay, go ahead.
And I mentioned this last show. When you have a quarterback making certain throws, if I have a Megatron, I'm gonna throw it a certain way because I know Megatron can go get it.
Okay.
So it's not a issue of Matthew throwing a bad pass, more if he's throwing it where he can get it.
Okay.
He's taller, he's bigger, he's stronger. Of course, most of my throws gonna be up high because I know he can go get it.
Yeah.
So
the advantage.
And it's not me defending Matthew Stafford either which way. I'm just saying in general, when you're looking at quarterbacks and you either throwing to a spot or you throwing it where your receiver, the type of receiver you have, can get it.
Okay.
So in the Megatron's point, he was taller, bigger, and a strong guy. A lot of my passes to him probably will be up high. Or I might throw it a little further. Like I know he can stretch out and get it.
Yeah.
So look at it from that standpoint. Melvin said Allen and Buffalo I can get Buffalo out. Look like a bus until Diggs showed up. You're right. Yes and no. I think that Allen did approve, but Diggs did help him.
Of course.
Yeah.
Big time. Look, we've said it before. The man was a 52% completion quarterback rookie year, 54 year 2. Last year 3, boom, all of a sudden he's a 64% completion percent quarterback. I know, right? A 64%.
Well, she wouldn't be on the table. You don't like it.
But no, so and I get what you're saying, but there are certain things that a receiver can make up that, for a quarterback to aid them. And I'm with you, Mel, on that point.
Right.
before Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen had little to nothing to work with, but he also wasn't an accurate quarterback.
He wasn't. No, those are facts. He wasn't.
So now that you get a dog at receiver, and now they kind of start bringing in Cole Beasley as a slot guy.
Yeah.
I think they changed their offensive scheme and got a different offensive coordinator, so that helps.
Right.
And this kind of ties back into when that relationship with coaching and athlete comes in, because you can have a great athlete, and he's going to have certain things that he does great,
right?
And you have to coach him up on things that he doesn't do great,
right?
And so you got to play to his strengths, work on his weaknesses,
right?
And I think that's what happened last year. It was just a perfect storm for that offense, and it helped. The coaching and how you do certain things helped him.
Right.
And so, to me, it's a catch-22 with some of these quarterbacks, because you know what they do well. Like, since we've been talking about Cam, you know what he does well. He's a red zone threat. He's hard to tackle, hard to take down. He's always going to be a threat with his feet. But he's limited and has always been limited on the passing side. So you're going to have to deal with the pros, and then you're going to have to figure out.
Nigga, Melvin wrote a novel. I got the Christie out here. Older quarterbacks look bad throwing the ball, often Peyton, Breeze, Brady. However, not many people will talk about it because they aren't known for that. My point is that people highlight every bad throw that Cam throws because it's cliche. He is not overwhelmingly. He is not overwhelmingly. I don't know why I can't say that word, but anyway, that much worse than the average starting quarterback: Lamar, Tannehill, Allen, Rivers, Fitzmagic, etc. What you think?
It's crazy because you've heard me say it last year. I compared to Josh Allen at one point the white Cam Newton. And to me, that was a fair comparison because Josh Allen was treading that way where you weren't 100% sold on his passing abilities, but you knew what kind of threat he was on his feet. And Josh Allen's a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
He's a big guy.
So, and that's what I was seeing the comparisons as. But now that you see Josh Allen was being more consistent with his accuracy, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I could start comparing him and Cam together because Josh Allen was in that one season last year, out of his third years in the NFL, was being more consistent and accurate.
Right.
I can't sit here and I've seen Cam's stats a million times because I have debated him, whether I liked him or not, like literally 1,000 times in my life. He hasn't been consistent with accuracy. And that's what I need from a quarterback. That's just me personally.
Right.
As a fan of football and what I like in a quarterback, I need accuracy, and I don't get consistent accuracy from Cam. And it's not like he can't make certain throws. It's just that he's not consistent with it. If Cam was consistently hitting all the throws like he was in 2015, I would never have to debate Cam because there'd be no doubt about how great he is.
Right.
But he hasn't been consistent. And he's in year 11 and year 12 now?
Right.
And we're still talking about your consistency with being accurate?
Well, okay. Melvin said, first part, he said older quarterbacks like Peyton, Breeze, and Brady. Now, the Denver Bronco, Peyton.
The last 2 years of Denver, he was trash.
He was horrible.
He was trash.
He was horrible. But
he saw Father Time kick his ass. But he had
a good defense.
He had a Super Bowl defense.
Drew Brees still showed flashes of good quarterbacking. Was he the same Drew Brees as before? No. Still of himself. And Brady never was like an overwhelming passer or athlete. Think about what Brady did. Dink and dunk.
Take the deep ball.
Take the deep ball.
Be smart with the ball.
Right.
Take a shot.
So he never was like a Marino type passer. He was kind of like.
He was never flashy.
He never really flashed with his numbers, with his passing. he had the right scheme.
But that's
But then
that
showed up the beginning half of Tampa Bay.
A
lot of miscues, a lot of bad passes, and a couple bad interceptions.
Well, I think that was just because like Cam and every other quarterback, Tom Brady had the same situation. I got no training camp. We're dealing with COVID. I'm on a new team. Same thing with Cam.
Right.
I got no training camp. Dealing with COVID. I'm on a new team.
Okay.
New offensive scheme. And at some point during the season, Bruce Arians, if people pay attention to what the Buccaneers did, they first came out trying to run Bruce Arians' offense,
right?
Risk it, no biscuit, let the motherfucker fly.
Right.
It wasn't working, and so he got out of his own way and was like, "Wait a minute, I got motherfucking Tom Brady.
Right?
Hey Tom, we're kind of fluttering on offense.
Right.
What can we do to get back on track?" And if people notice, the play calling was starting to look a little Patriot-ish. They got back to running the ball, intermediate throws, Tom getting the ball out of his hand quick, and then let his athletes do what he do. And then later in the season, that's when you start seeing a big mix of Bruce Arians' philosophy of running the offense and some Tom Brady Patriot-ish of how to run the offense. And it took him through a Super Bowl. It does help you have a Super Bowl winning defense.
Right.
But to get that offense going, it has to be some kind of balance. I can't force you to run my offense and I see it's not working.
Right.
Because I think if Bruce Arians would have been an arrogant coach last year and just be like, no, I know you're Tom Brady, but I'm still the coach.
I'm the coach.
Right. If he would have had that attitude, they wouldn't have won that Super Bowl.
Okay.
I mean, is that fair to say?
I can go with that.
So, I mean, Brady's an outlier. He's 44.
Right.
And he's still doing the same dink and dunk, then take a shot that he's done his whole 21-year career.
Right.
And he's got 7 rings to prove that it works. But that's for him.
Right.
That can't work for everybody. So, and that's what I'm saying. That's when the coaching part has to come in and say, look, I know what your strengths are. Yeah, we're going to play to it. But just so that we don't come stale and defenses can't get a read on us, let's work on what you don't do well.
Right.
And that can be always a wrench to a defensive game plan because they don't know what to expect when they see that.
Right. Melvin said Cam has had Greg Olsen as a target and Steve Smith. Give him weapons, build on offense, and get the popcorn ready. Cam will ball this season.
Look, you bring up a great point, Mel, and this was always one of my debating talking points with Cam. He had an all-pro receiver in Steve Smith, who will be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
He had Greg Olsen in his prime, a multiple Pro Bowler tight end.
Right.
Kelvin Benjamin had a breakout year, 1 year, and then got fat and injured a lot.
Right.
Other than that,
he had decent running game.
He had
Foster
he had D'Angelo Williams. He had Jonathan Stewart. 2 great running backs, not great, but above average running backs on the same team at the same time. He had weapons.
Right.
The year that they went to the Super Bowl, just about his whole offensive line went to the Pro Bowl.
Right.
And so this is my thing, just like any other quarterback, we're having the same, kind of conversation with Tua. If you surround quarterback with talent, then you can see what he can do. And that's why this injury with Carson Wentz sucks, because I really wanted to see if he really was that dude or not.
Right.
Because when you go to Indy, it's not Philly. Indy has less holes than Philly. Philly had a whole bunch of problems on that team. Holes.
Say that statement again.
Holes on the team, not house.
Philly got less holes than Indy.
This a lady.
Right.
Lady. Yeah, hole.
Say Philly got less holes than Indy.
Yeah, less holes to fill, as in problems on the team, sir. All right. So when you surround Carson Wentz with everything that's in Indianapolis, And if he can't get the job done there, we need to have a different conversation.
Okay.
Now, if he was still in Philly, you see what that organization is doing. We don't know what Philly's doing.
Right.
3 years removed from winning a Super Bowl, and all of a sudden these cats can't even get to the playoffs all of a sudden. So I don't know what the hell is going on with that organization.
Right.
But, they're not the only organization that's having, issues. Look at the Saints. I think I need to talk about the Saints because I need to say this.
Extend your side of the picture, nigga.
This is my hot take of the year.
Okay, go ahead. Hot take.
The New Orleans Saints will not make the playoffs.
Okay, nigga, that ain't no surprise.
No, because I'm saying, everybody's saying, oh, Saints defense, but look at some of the the defensive linemen that they lost to free agency. So that's you got to find a way to make sure you fix that. And I don't
trust their quarterbacks.
Man, period.
You got 50-50 Jameson out there.
Period. I do not trust Jameis Winston, Mr. Crab Legs 50-50, and I damn sure don't trust slightly upgraded Tim Tebow and Taysom Hill.
Right.
I don't. We talked about it multiple times. How do you not know that Drew Brees is getting old? He's getting to the end of his career, and you don't address your future at that position.
Yeah, because Jameson wasn't your future.
If that was the case, and I'm saying this with wholeheartedly sincerity, you should have kept Teddy.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care what you say about Teddy's still 28, 29. He's still serviceable.
Right.
He's always been a quarterback that tries not to make the mistakes. I mean, look, interception is part of the game. Every quarterback is going to throw interception.
Right.
But Teddy Bridgewater he was kind of in that mode of a Alex Smith-ish. He's going to take the shots every now and then when he feels it's appropriate.
Right.
But he's going to more than likely be, protecting the ball. And so why not? I think they should have kept him.
Okay.
But you don't address the most important position knowing that Father Time is kicking at that man's door.
Look at Pittsburgh.
Honestly, I like Pittsburgh's situation because even though Mason Rudolph is not going to blow the lid off of any game, he's got game experience.
Okay.
He knows that offense. I also like how Dwayne Haskins has been looking in the preseason. I wouldn't be upset if Dwayne Haskins moves up in that depth chart above Mason Rudolph. And because we all know, Ben probably going to at some point take an injury.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
So I wouldn't mind seeing Dwayne Haskins has game experience, 2 years as a starter. We know about the off field not making smart decisions, and and Ron Rivera was pretty rough on him, and hey, he deserved it. But he's been looking good.
I didn't see the Pittsburgh game, so I can't say.
He's been looking good. I think he needed that. He needed to be around, maybe, I don't know if that's a Mike Tomlin effect, but my thing with Mike Tomlin, sometimes he feels, a coach that players love to play for, but sometimes he's too lax.
Okay.
Because that whole Antonio Brown saga was crazy. Mr. TikToker, Juju. Being a distraction. I don't care how you slice it. That's a distraction. Doing the little TikTok and shit on everybody's logo. No, you asking for unnecessary drama that's not conducive.
The thing with Juju, that fight, man. How do you? I mean, they trying to pull you away. You still trying to get into it. At least they were smart enough to say, "Hey, man, you don't want to mess your career up like that."
Oh, Chase Claypool? Yeah,
that's Claypool. That's Claypool. That's right. That's Claypool.
But that wasn't smart, though.
Yeah.
He was trying to get into an altercation.
Right.
And luckily, his people's like, nah, bro, what is you doing?
Right.
Get your ass far away from this shit.
That was idiotic, man.
Because that was stupid.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that situation. I'm telling you, in 2021 and 2020, whatever, you know, I think it happened in 2020, the situation.
I don't think so.
But I'm just saying 2021, you know, just this day and age, you know, people don't fight no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of these cats are scared to throw hands,
Mm-hmm.
but they ain't scared to throw a bullet.
Right.
So that situation could have got ugly. It could have went left quick.
Right.
And he could have possibly messed around and lost his career. And you just had your rookie season, had a great season.
Right. And I think, too, I don't look at it from this standpoint. You swing on my man, you mess your hand up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a receiver.
You're a receiver. You need that.
What you going to catch with your wrist?
So that's one thing. Or just you swing and say you fall, twist the ankle. Or they stump you out.
Oh, you a receiver. Oh, how you going to run?
You know what I'm saying?
You going to hop your way to a
Plaxico
first
Burress couldn't run with the bullet in his leg. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, with cheddar bobbing himself.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Ow!
So my thing is like, you know, you have to look at those factors. You are the commodity. Mm-hmm. You are the asset. People are eating off of you. Mm-hmm. So you got to protect you.
Since we're on the topics of quarterback, so you know, Justin Fields had a breakout game in a preseason week 1. Mm-hmm. He's currently dealing with a groin injury. Probably not too much to really think about, but probably something just put in the back of your head and come back to it because you know you don't want to put too much on, you know, minor injuries like that. But, right. But a groin can grow into something problematic.
That's what I call it, growing.
But the statement of the year, y'all. So your boy Andy Dalton
saw that.
He said, "Oh yeah, you know, Justin's going to be a great guy, but my time is now."
Your time was 10 years ago. Your time is over.
Bruh, when I saw that he has said that,
I told you he's going to be salty because of the way they brought him in.
I had laughed hysterically.
Because the way they brought him in, I told you he's going to be, because if you look at his statement before he got there, the reason why I chose to come here because they promised me to start. You know what I'm saying? So you know that's on his mind the whole time.
Oh, he bitter as hell.
You know what I'm saying? And they draft my man and he kind of showed out the first game. He probably scared.
He been scared.
He's scared.
He was scared when they traded up to go get Justin in the draft.
You know, I think he was nervous but not scared. Because he still didn't know what he's getting. But once
what you mean?
Come on, man.
Nervous, not scared. What? This is a surprise that they wouldn't got a quarterback?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I bring you in. I promise you. Just take real life. I bring you in North Field. I say, I promise you the sous chef position. Right. So you thinking whatever happened, I'm a sous chef. I bring in Edgar. You know, all of a sudden you seeing Edgar do all this other stuff. But you probably thinking when before you even start doing something, they bring in Edgar and they say, well, Edgar got all these skills, blah, blah, blah. You ain't thinking because he got all these skills, so what? I'm the sous chef. They told me I'm the sous chef. So you might be a little nervous, like, oh, why they bring my man in? But you ain't thinking. Then you start seeing all the stuff he doing. Now you like, now I'm getting a little scared now. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's kind of that situation. Yeah, they draft a quarterback. You know they're gonna draft a quarterback anyway. Then you draft the best player available, and you know that you're not the long term. So you know you're not the long term solution.
Yeah, it was a 1 year deal.
He knew a long term solution. He knew they're gonna draft something. Mm-hmm. You know, someone. I mean, so you're like, okay, yeah, I'm a little nervous, but I'm good. They told me I got this position. Then he shows out that first game.
Yeah.
And then you reading the headlines on top of that.
And I know they talking.
You know, somebody said that too. Somebody said somewhere, either in social media or one of the headlines, you can just start Justin Fields.
Yeah, I said it.
Well,
you said it.
I'm just saying.
But I.O.W. Sports said it. Yeah, we said it. So Justin Fields need to be starting week 1.
So that's making him scared because now
you hear the chatter.
He's like, oh wow. I may not be starting. So he had to say something like that. He had to save face. He had to say something.
He can say it. But at the end of the day,
Matt Nagy be a fool to not start him. I'm sorry.
We know what the deal is.
Unless he just self-destructs the next couple of preseason games. If Nagy want to be there next year, he needs to start Justin Fields.
Yeah, Nagy want to make it through the end of the year.
Well, he had to. Yeah.
Because, look, I know he's been to the playoffs 2 of his 3 years, and 2 of those years with Mitch Trubisky.
Mhm.
I get it. But look at Philly. Teams are not resting on being content with certain amount of success.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles literally just won a Super Bowl 3 years ago. And the coach that brought it there ain't even there.
Mm-mm.
Got the axe.
The quarterbacks, they take on there and not there.
Neither one of them.
Right.
So NFL is literally an instant league. They're looking for instant success and consistent success.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, you do have to break through the mold and get the big one.
Right. You got to win a Super Bowl.
Everybody knows that Matt Nagy and the GM Ryan Pace are on the hot seat. They know it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they went and got Justin Fields. They know it.
Right.
So if I know it, you know it,
Mm-hmm.
they know it, I'm pretty sure Andy Dalton knew that going in before he signed that contract. Like, look, these guys is on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna have to make a splash in the draft, and specifically at the quarterback position, because that's been the number one problem with that team.
Right.
He should have known that.
Okay.
And they're gonna get a high prospect, a high draft prospect,
Okay.
high rated prospect that's going to have a certain amount of skills that he can't duplicate or replicate.
Okay. I'm with that.
So he should have known that. Yeah, I know what they told me, but he should have had something in the back of his mind, be like, yo, these cats might switch up on me real quick. I know what they said. I know what they said.
Right.
But are they really gonna stick with me over Justin Fields? But Andy Dalton needs to go out and show that, hey, man, I can still play.
I can still play. He's not gonna be able to do it, but that's what he needs to do.
Of course. So when he says a comment like this, you better go out there and
show us your time.
Man.
You about to show us your time.
Man, I'm telling you.
Because you running out of time.
Running out of time. And if you making comments like this and you can't back it up with your play, you a waste of time.
There you go. There you go. You hit the nail on the head with that one.
Look, for real, at that point, you's a waste of time. And, so we're going to keep this quarterback theme going. Deshaun Watson, man. News just keep dropping on this man.
Deshaun Watson in Houston, they got soap opera down there.
Right. But to his credit, this is actually might be positive news for him.
Right.
So when I first saw this headline of FBI joining the Deshaun Watson investigation, I was like, oh, damn, bro. Oh, now you got the feds on you?
Feds, you moving bricks.
Oh, you in trouble, cuz. I ain't gonna front, dog. I ain't even gonna cap. I was like, oh, no, this dude in trouble. Anytime the Fed come, dog. Because, bro, you got the NFL investigating the situation. Right. You got the police of Houston investigating the situation. And you got the feds on me? Oh, you got the feds? But no, I dug deep into the situation. So the FBI reached out to his representation, his attorney, Rusty Hardin.
Right.
And they're saying that one of the possible accusers is being investigated for extortion of the situation. And I don't know if anybody has seen the quote from Rusty Hardin, but he kind of threw out some text messages from one of the accusers, and it didn't sound anything like she was distraught or, mad about anything. It kind of seemed like she was just like embarrassed that something happened.
Right.
It didn't seem like she didn't enjoy, like she didn't enjoy herself,
right,
or didn't want anything to happen. or
She is chasing a bag.
So here's my question. So when you got the FBI investigating one of these accusers of extortion, does that taint the other 22?
It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to.
But it's hard to look past that, though.
I mean, that's just like a juror when you got a trial by jury, and a juror hears certain information, they're supposed to disregard that if that information is not supposed to be said in court. But you human, you can't disregard that, and that's why some lawyers will say certain things, or do certain things because they betting on you to tap into your humanity,
your emotions,
right? So
good lawyers do,
So
ones that make the big money,
right? So to your point, it's not supposed to, but it can taint it because now it can make the rest of them look questionable. Like, well, shoot, she out the money. Is she trying to get the bag? Maybe the other 22 trying to get the bag.
And them bitches come up in a huddle or something.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Hey, man, this is what we're going to do. You're going to accuse this day. I'm going to accuse that day.
Right.
And we all going to get the bag. Break on 3. Break.
Right. So, I mean, this may work in his favor.
To me, this is a good positive for his camp. Definitely for his camp.
Right.
Because I mean, look,
because you look at it like this.
You're dealing with this situation.
If you have say you have 15 out of the ones who you can raise reasonable doubt based on using that information, all you need is reasonable doubt. Then you lost the case.
This situation, if the FBI can prove that she's trying to extort him, they're going to have to look into those other cases.
Right.
Because at that point, you're going to have to literally look at them and then, start pinpointing certain ones and like, hey, drop your suit.
Right.
Because you're dealing with something more important. Trouble. Yeah.
Her drop her suit.
Them damn happy endings, man.
You know what I'm saying? Get you in trouble every time.
Damn happy endings. But it's just human nature to raise that question.
But I guess, too, it's like, when you're an athlete, I think sometimes you just got to be smart, man.
Yeah.
You just don't put yourself in those situations. Just can't. I mean, you had to say it. You might have to live a secluded life to protect yourself. I mean, the money given from God complex. Look at Trevor Bauer.
Man,
and you read
it's funny. It's funny that you say about this situation.
Like, my goodness.
And yes, I know what I read what he did, but I've also seen certain text messages from the accuser that kind of doesn't paint that scene so negatively.
Let me say this.
Okay.
You meet a chick.
Yeah.
And that's not me defending. I'm just throwing this out.
Okay.
You meet a chick and y'all texting.
Mm-hmm.
And she say some crazy stuff. You gonna say some crazy stuff because you trying to impress. You know what I'm saying? She be like, oh, when I get you along, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna jump off the ceiling and bounce on your dick.
See, but that's
and you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm good with that.
The crazy thing about
it, in real life, you don't want nobody jump. You be like,
I
you know what I'm saying? You might break that. You know what I'm saying?
I need this.
I might need this later. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what she has said. She was like, in so many words, she was like, yeah, I was saying that because I'm trying to make the conversation spicy. But at the same time, even if you into rough sex, you ain't into getting punched. He punched her in the face.
Oh no, her text message was like she liked that kind of shit though.
Punch like that?
I heard, bruh. If the chick is literally texting him like choke me, spank me,
yeah, some chicks like that.
She's literally sending messages to this man, and what you just supposed to disappoint her?
I don't know, bro. Here's my thing to that. You signed a consent form.
No. Oh, okay. Now that
You signing
that
something.
we're at. I'm with
we get
that.
into that kind of point. You want to talk about punching?
I'm with you on that.
Punch you in the coochie and stuff like that.
We need to have.
I'm gonna need to.
No. Hey, consent form, and we gotta film this shit.
Right.
No, I'm not trying to make a porno. I'm trying to save my ends.
Save my ends. Real. Cause he is like punching in a. I'm like, dang,
like
bro.
punching her in the back.
Right, and then she passed out. He just kept on going.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
So when I've been reading this, I'm like, oh, and see, that's the thing with I get what you're saying. Like you have to find some type of medium as an athlete when you are an investment.
Right.
You have to look at it the business way.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at it like I need to protect the investment, which is me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got to do certain, it may seem odd to most common folk, but we ain't got that type of, for the most part, that type of financial, situation or lifestyle.
You come after me, you ain't getting nothing but practice. Nothing but practice.
All I got is good for you is good dick and conversation.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Dick and bubble gum. That's it. I ain't chewed my last piece. So what's good?
But that mouth do though.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I'm one to believe that these athletes, for the most part, are just, still being human beings like us.
Well, I mean, I'm not against that.
No. But what I'm saying is that because of their status or their financial status, things can easily get construed one way or another.
Right.
But they're probably in just a normal situation that me, you, or Tom, Dick, or Harry are in.
I mean, it's people that like to get peed on.
I wanna piss
on you. Know what I'm saying?
Trip,
and I mean, so that's just their thing.
Haters gonna hate.
People like to
lovers gonna love. I don't even want none of the above. I'm gonna piss on you.
But I mean, look, you got the Cleveland Steamer, you got the German knuckle cake, Pasadena mudslide.
Hold on. Why do you know all these names, cuz?
Don't worry about that.
I don't want to know. Pittsburgh
platter. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them. And people into that kind of stuff.
Pearl necklace.
You know what I'm saying? Roman helmet. I mean, you can go down the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My point is, it's like
two in the pink, one in
the stink. My point is, though, what may be weird to you is normal for other people. However,
it depends on your level.
However,
there's some strange shit.
When you get into stuff where you talking about physical violence, even though that might turn you on, you have to be smart enough to say, okay, let's sign something.
Yeah.
And I think in Trevor Bauer's case, that's either A, it's not his first time he done it. That's why he didn't feel the need.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I'm saying? And second, and B, as an athlete or anyone who has something to lose,
lots of money.
You know what I'm saying? You have to protect your assets.
Always.
I mean, men, we always guilty of think what I did. We guilty of that.
Been doing it for centuries.
Poor, rich, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
We all think.
You know what I'm saying? How many niggas I know then got their dick sucked by crackheads?
I can't raise my hand.
I ain't saying. I'm not saying that it's one of us. I'm saying, but plenty. You know somebody. You tell me you don't know nobody?
Probably so.
Okay. My point is, was that a great decision?
Probably not.
You know what I'm saying?
You can put yourself in a lot of risky health situations.
But sometimes you be in that like, what that mouth do? You know what I'm saying? You just be in that because you thinking with the wrong head. It happens.
It do.
It happens.
It do.
So
I can't disagree with you on that.
How many times
I've been in a couple of
you done rolled over and here like,
damn.
Like all of a sudden she got ugly. She was ugly before you hit it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, you didn't look like that last night.
All right. But when you
ain't going back to that club no more.
When you in that mood, let's go out the door. Like,
I mean,
hit that switch. She look good in the dark.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
I can't confirm or
Look,
deny I might have had beer.
If you with a
goggles
chick
maybe
and she come with explanation, you know, you gotta explain her. You know, no, I'm with this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do stuff like that.
If there's a chick, you gotta sneak out the house.
Right. She come a whole bunch of see, the reason why I'm with her, you know she ugly. You know what I'm saying? You been thinking with the wrong head. So my point is, you need to protect yourself.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Not just protect yourself with condoms. You need to protect yourself, your assets. Legally protect yourself. So when you go into those kind of realms, especially, you know, you going into the BDSM type stuff, what our boy say?
Only Trump.
He was like,
permission.
It's highly consensual. Yep. You always get permission. That's something they do all the time. That's their community.
Yeah.
And they do this all the time. They still always consent.
Are you okay with this?
You good with this? This is what you want to do? And
before anything.
Right. And he even said, like, he could have been with this chick 3 or 4 times. And every time, you good with this? This you good with? And he ain't rich.
Yeah.
So my thing is, like, think about that from a athletic standpoint, or just a rich person. We saying athletes, but because we're a sports show.
Yeah, let's talk about rich.
But we're just saying anyone that has something to lose. Let's say that.
Okay. You
need to think about protecting yourself. Even if you have something already pre-drawn up, and sign this very quick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect yourself.
I got the file on the computer. I
print. I got that mug on my phone. That's how e-sign.
E-sign.
I send that right to my lawyer. There you go.
As funny as that is, if you gotta go to that length, to that extreme to do it, do it. Because it's not like you don't have the financials to get to that level.
Right.
And here's a caveat. Do you think some of these cats just really think they're that damn invincible?
I think so. I think the money. No, he brought that up. Think about this. You walk into a restaurant. Mr. Wallace, how you doing? Oh, who was waiting? Mr. Wallace was sitting there. You know what I'm saying? And they give you
whatever you want.
Wherever you want. You go into a store, Neiman Marcus. Hey, Mr. Wallace, how you doing? Oh, don't worry about it. We put on your charge. Go ahead and give what you want. You know, that kind of thing. Anywhere you go, or you do something and you do something wrong, somebody, oh, it don't matter. You good, Mr. Wallace? You used to getting your way. So now you in a situation where someone's in a vulnerable position.
Yeah.
But you thinking, do what I want. What are they gonna do? They're gonna consent to this anyway. You know, and even if they say not consent in the end and go along with it because I can pay them off. You know, you have that kind of mindset.
Well, I know.
But at the same time, you can have the kind of mindset that they may be coming in to get a check. And so to protect that, here you go, sign this. Then we can continue.
I've heard Exhibit used to do something like that.
Okay.
The rapper Exhibit. Those who aren't familiar with him.
Right.
Pimp My Ride guy.
Right.
He was a rapper before that.
Right.
Just so you know. Not too bad of one.
Right.
I saw a like Smack DVDs back in the days, and he was just talking with somebody, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I heard of all my people's always getting jammed up and shit." He's like, "Bro, I videotape all my interactions." He was like, "Yeah, shorties be signing consent form, otherwise I can't rock with you."
Right.
And the number one example he brought up was Tupac's situation.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "Look what happened to Pop." You get a fan, so crazy to hype to see him, give up the butt,
right?
And now it's a different situation after the fact.
After the fact,
and so
I thought I creamed your buns, and now you like, I wasn't into that.
You wasn't saying that when your mouth was
right.
Open,
you know what I'm saying? Nothing when I was stroking. But more daddy, more daddy, more.
See, but I mean, we got to look at this at two sides. Is there a possibility that these people with money are being overly aggressive and
Oh, yeah.
think they're invincible?
Right.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are there certain individuals that target rich folk? Yes.
I mean,
So,
it's on both sides. I agree.
You got to look at both sides of the situation.
And not just, let's say this too.
Yeah.
This is not us victim shaming.
No, not at all.
You know, but at the same time, we have to get both sides of the story. And since right now, we on our sports show, we talking about the athletes and what they need to do from an athlete perspective.
As in protecting your investment. Yeah.
But yeah, there are athletes out there. They are very narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
There are athletes out there that are probably overly aggressive, doing stuff they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
You know, sexually, or even, you know, just being
physically,
you know, emotionally, all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that happens. But with the Trevor, since I started leading in with talking about Trevor Bauer and his situation, and when you read just the stuff that he did,
mm-hmm.
just based off that, you don't know context behind it. Just read
nothing.
It looks like the heck. You know what I'm saying?
It looks crazy.
Bad. It looks bad. Like adding the text message and stuff like that.
That's what I was saying. Like when you see what the reports are saying that he did,
mm-hmm.
and then you line it up with what text messages that is literally an exchange between him
mm-hmm.
and the accuser, you're like, wait, hold up. It was looking like this
mm-hmm.
at this moment,
mm-hmm.
and now I got this other stuff. Now it's looking like,
and then I just
where's it going?
Right. And I brought up what I said about the text messages, just to give another angle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, and you first kicking with somebody, you know, you're saying some wild stuff, and yeah, in your mind, you probably they probably tripping. I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Trevor probably wasn't thinking nothing of it.
I mean, saying either way.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about more of the accuser side.
Okay.
You know, you know, for me as a heterosexual man, when I'm kicking it with a chick, and plus we texting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember texting takes a lot of people don't have a lot of nerve to say in a text they do face to face.
Yeah.
So in a text, you really gonna get wild with it. Oh, you want to do what? Oh yeah, I'm good with that, girl. Yeah. You know we gonna do what? Yeah. You know, you texting us something.
I'm trying to get my good stuff from behind. I ain't never had that.
I'm trying to see what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? He said she gonna tuck my film on the back. I'm trying to see what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? So you like that.
Yeah.
So you know, you hyped.
Yeah.
So your mind is not really thinking, she feel like I want to get punched, or she ain't really, you know, so you ain't think about that.
Not only that, at that point in time, you're not even thinking that after we having all these exchanges
mm-hmm.
in text messages,
right?
After we have these exchanges in whatever kind of sexual capacity,
mm-hmm.
Trevor probably wasn't even thinking nothing about being charged or being investigated of any kind of abuse
mm-hmm.
or whatever. 100%.
Here's another part we didn't mention.
Okay.
She can say, I want you to punch me until I pass out or until I turn blue in the face. And she get there and say, no, he's still wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean,
without a doubt.
So the text message may
paint a picture.
Paint a certain picture, but what
reality,
happened when they was actually at that moment? What was said then is more important than the text message.
And I think that's probably one of the things that, to your point of why it's so important, these athletes, you know, find a way to always protect their businesses, because
mm-hmm.
you have no idea,
right?
You know, especially when it comes to the legal part, you're trying to make a guilty or innocent call or verdict on literally a he said, she said
mm-hmm.
situation at
mm-hmm.
that point. So if you don't have no type of documentation, no type of, you know, video documentation of an encounter,
mm-hmm.
you know, if you don't have anything proven exactly what you said or she said, at that point, you're gambling on some.
Because here's the thing, and I thought about this too. If I was Trevor Bauer,
and
let's use that as an example, I would have a female lawyer. And the reason why I have a female lawyer, of course, I get the best female lawyer. I'm just gonna pick any female lawyer, but Reason why?
Get on that public offender, bro.
Well, yeah. Because think about it from this
public
standpoint.
defenders that had your ass locked up. Yes, sir. We'll take the 50 years. We
you serving half?
you serving it with me?
You know what I'm saying?
So I serve 25. You
You
serve
serve 25?
25. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
cool with that. So when they want to run up in you the one. No. This butt belongs to you. Since we doing this together.
Since we doing this, we a team now.
You take the rape.
Yeah. I'll take the child.
Right. But anyway, the reason why I would choose a female lawyer, think about it from the standpoint. A man browbeating a woman and especially dealing with this heinous act would look bad to a jury. But you bring a woman up there, now it just looks like she's just litigating the trial. Litigating the trial. It won't look like he browbeating her or something like that. So, I would think more of that line. I'm gonna get a female lawyer that looks better because of the heinousness of the crime.
It's just because you a psych major. Cut the shit.
I'm just saying.
Use a psych major. And look, to your point, you are right. At some point, when it comes down to that courtroom situation, it comes down to psychology.
You can never remove your humanity from yourself.
You can't.
It's always there.
You can't.
That's why you see police officers killing unarmed black men because they was racist. Before they got the job, they're gonna be racist on the job.
And you throw them in the hood.
All right, and you throw them in the hood. So you can never remove who you are from who you are. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Hey, if it look like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a pigeon.
It's probably a racist cop. So.
But I mean, look, at the end of the day, you as an athlete can't really, just put yourself out there so freely.
No, you can't, man.
You can't.
I mean, and you gotta have balance.
You gotta have balance. I'm not saying because
you gotta think about it. This is just in general athletes, not just Trevor Bauer. If you 19, 20, you in your prime.
And not even close, bro.
I'm just saying, you really get into feeling yourself.
Life.
You get into life.
Okay.
I ain't talking about sexual prime. You get into life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You're a young lion out here in these streets, and you smelling yourself.
Yeah, lions like to fuck a lot.
Just saying. I guess I'm a lion. But anyway.
You ain't see National Geographic. They quick with it.
Yeah. So the dogs.
They go to sleep. And then they wake up, they do it again.
They back over it again.
Hey, lioness.
Right. What up, dog?
What's happening?
What's good? What that mouth do?
Oh, give me that kitty cat.
But anyway, we got to go way down another rabbit hole. Way down the rabbit hole.
Oh man, cool.
But you know what I'm saying? So you should enjoy yourself. I'm not telling you not to enjoy yourself, but you gotta have that balance. You gotta balance. You enjoy yourself being young, out there, partying. You think about it. You got money. You out Miami Beach. You out, in LA. All the different places that's New York is known to have party spots. Chicago. You all in these places where known to have a lot of party and beautiful women. Especially like you looking at LA and Miami, they walking up. Well, I'm just saying because of the weather, they walk around with bikinis all the time.
Titties is out.
You know what I'm saying?
See them cheeks.
And your hormones was like, you know what I'm saying? They pumping. So yeah, I understand that. But at the same time, you gotta have balance. You got to put things in place to protect yourself, because then and you recognizable. on top of that.
Oh, off gate.
You know what I'm saying? They say, that. You know, plus, if you're not recognizable, they're going to know you somebody because you traveling with an entourage, you pulling up, you know, stunting, flossing, whatever you want to call it. And they looking like, oh, he must be somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, all those things. So, they want to see who you are, what you about. Period. And then if you got any kind of charisma, whatever. Right. But anyway, we're getting close to almost make sure we get on Jack Morris.
Oh yeah. I mean, since we're talking about, you know, all this social issues that keeps happening with, you know, athletes and all that. So he was with the announcer for the Tigers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he used to be the pitcher for the Tigers.
Yeah, Jack Morris. Yeah. You know, old school baseball player.
Right.
Old school mentality. So the Tigers and the Angels were playing, and who isn't aware of Shohei Ohtani is Japanese,
right?
And pretty much he's been the star of the baseball season this far,
right?
More than likely, at the rate he's going, will be the MVP, because he pitches and he plays outfield and
he hits
he leads the whole Major League Baseball in home runs,
right?
So his commentator, compadre, asked him, said, you know, hey, how do you pitch to Shohei Ohtani? And he goes, very careful.
Right.
You know, imitating Asian accent.
Right.
And, you know,
a stereotypical
Asian
accent.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to lie. Me personally, when I first heard it, I did chuckle.
Right.
But just because, like, you know, we all make stereotypes. So, you know, I don't think his intent was to be malicious.
Okay.
But I think Jack Morris didn't read the society room how it is in 2021.
Right.
This ain't 1980. This ain't 1956.
Right.
This ain't 1902. This is 2021.
Right.
Cancer culture is heavy. As anybody that has a huge platform on how explicit can they really get.
Right.
Because this cancer culture that's been just literally canceling this, canceling that. Oh, you said this?
Okay.
Cancel.
Shut them down.
Oh, you did that? Cancel.
Shut them down.
I'm talking about literally people are getting suspended, as he did. Rightfully so.
Right.
I think it did warrant a suspension, because you can't go into 2021 knowing how the room and didn't read it right, didn't read it properly. And he said some shit that, you know, bro,
right.
You do know this 2021.
Right.
Like, people are getting fired from jobs, won't get hired from jobs because of some silly shit. I don't know what in his right mind thought at that moment that was
cool.
okay.
That was cool. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think that we can't prove intent.
You can't.
Not with this particular case. I mean, I can't say Jack Morris is racist.
No.
You know, he might have did something that was a racist act, you know, but was he racist in his heart? I don't know. I can't prove that intent. But he was very foolish.
Very.
You know, because like you alluded to, like you said, in the day and time we live in, you have to know you can't say that.
Read the room, bro.
You have to know that.
Read the room.
There's no way you should know you shouldn't say that. And on top of that, it wasn't necessary.
And that was one of my biggest points.
It wasn't even necessary.
What was the point?
What was the point of that? So now the more I think about it, maybe he is racist. You know what I'm saying? Let me say why I say that. But go ahead.
Here's to this point. He probably wasn't even thinking nothing of an apology.
Right.
Because if you heard what he said, you know, it has been brought to my attention.
Right. Because they went off air when he came back. That's when he made his apology.
That's when he made the apology.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody had gotten his ear and was like, bro, you need to apologize right now. Like I said, I don't know if he's racist or not. I'm not here to prove that. That's not
our point here. Pick us up on I.O.W.
Yes. But the fact that he had to be reminded of reading the room,
right,
and he was told to apologize. That kind of leaves that door open of whoever wants to answer that question or not.
Right.
That leaves the door open now, because if he was forced to make an apology, because it was brought to my attention that I might have said something very insensitive, and that's, I don't know, bro.
Right.
You wasn't thinking about no apology.
You wasn't thinking about that. You just say that. You gonna say that, go off the air, and go on back to the house.
Because he thought he was gonna be all right. Yeah. Now you got to deal with suspension.
But I just, like I said, I don't understand how you didn't know that was wrong. And on top of that, why do you feel a need? Let's say this. If he would have said it in a, say, you know, let's put some context behind it. Say you say, you know, I've been, let me say this, then I'm gonna get back to it. So when I was studying Spanish, I tried to imitate the dialect because I wanted to sound as authentic as possible. When I was studying, I am studying now. I study Arabic. I try to get those guttural sounds because I want to sound as authentic as possible.
Yeah, you don't want to sound like a dumbass.
Right. So I don't want to sound like American speaking Spanish or American speaking Arabic. I want to sound like an Arabic person or a Spanish person. So if he was like, yeah, you know, I've been studying Japanese, blah, blah, blah. And so I've been around a lot of Japanese people, so I can kind of pick up their dialect, you know, that kind of thing. And he kind of said it like that. I wouldn't have thought it.
You wouldn't have thought nothing of it.
I wouldn't have thought as, did he that bad? But why did you feel that you had to put some kind of dialect on what you're saying? And plus, you're speaking English. You could have said, just be very careful. You know, you got to be very careful. And it's it's like the Bugs Bunny cartoon. They show the Japanese, the big old glass, the big old teeth, and they're like, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It reaches back to that. Because the voice that he did was the voice of that.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's been proven that that's racist. Those are racial stereotypes. It's been said for many years, those are racial stereotypes. So you had to know that was wrong. So you made a decision to say, hey, I'm about to say this and everybody gonna think this is funny because, you know, he's Japanese. So if I just do this, it's gonna be funny. You're not a comedian.
Far from it.
You know, and if you're a comedian, you may have a little more rope.
Because that's their job.
That's their job.
Comedians always spark, you know, conversation with their jokes, you know, racially, sexually, whatever.
Right.
I mean, that's just been the formula for comedy. But Shaq Morris is no comedian.
You're not a comedian. And you're not at a club, you're doing a broadcast of a baseball game.
Oh, we're national broadcast.
Right. You gotta know better. So should he get his job back? And let me say this before you answer. Let me say this. Based on okay, we both in culinary.
I can make points at either one.
We both in culinary. And you telling me you have all these skills, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, okay, make me a hollandaise sauce. You make it, it breaks. Okay. Let's see why it broke.
Can you fix it?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, first I'm asking, can you fix it? And if you can't, I'm going to teach you how to fix it. Then you say, oh, you understand? Yeah. So breakfast come up again. All right, man, make the hollandaise sauce. It breaks. You know, should you lose your job if you can't perform your job? No, let me say it, because I gotta make the point. I gotta make the parallel. So let me say this. If the reason why it was breaking is because of something that you know you should have done, like you didn't use shearing power to mix it. That's something you should know. You know, because most emotions, I say it wrong.
Yeah.
God, what is it called?
Emulsifiers.
Emulsifier. Yeah, most things that is emulsified, you got to use shearing power. So, either a wisp with a high rate, a stick mixer, Vitamix, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to use what they call it. Robo-Cool, whatever. Some kind of shearing power. You have to use that to emulsify something. And you didn't use that. That's something you should know.
Yeah.
Especially you telling me you got these experience. So I may fire you day one the first time you break it. Because if you tell me that.
I mean,
because
that gives you a legit reason
because I'm like,
you came in with these so-called accolades.
And you should know that.
You should know this.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you lied to me.
Yeah.
You should know that.
I hear you.
So now you as a seasoned broadcaster.
It's justifiable.
Who been living Jack Moore's in the 60s, 70s?
He ain't no spring chicken.
Right. He gotta be in his late 60s, maybe beginning of the 70s.
I'll put it to you this way. He make you look on.
Thank you, nigga.
He make you look.
So he been around for a while. He has to know better. Whether or not he refused to comply, that's on him. But you have to know better. So when you step out and say something like that, I can be like, all right, man, you should know better than that. Mm-hmm. That's racism 101. Bye. You know what I'm saying?
Here's one thing that's crazy about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
If his comment affects the bottom line, when it comes to corporations or big money thing,
that's a whole different argument. Go ahead. Discussion, I mean,
if it affects the bottom line, they won't bring him back.
Right.
Because if they're saying, people aren't supporting our franchise or organization, they feel some type of way about the situation and how we handle it.
Okay.
And we're losing money.
Okay.
You can't bring him back.
Okay.
But if this was just a one-time mistake, if this has been his first and only mistake, now all of his previous broadcasts are going to come under review now.
Oh yeah, always.
Because now that
this, so what do you mean when he said that?
So now that this situation has happened,
he just called a nigga a nigga.
I bet you they're going to go back to many a broadcast from before,
right?
And they're going to dissect every damn last word. And if they dissect every last word and then be like, oh, we got a trend here.
Right.
You can't bring him back.
Okay. Now,
if he just made a stupid bonehead mistake, look, people make mistakes.
Oh, yeah. I'm an advocate against people second chances.
This is just a one-off. I can see the Tigers organization be like, look, it was literally just this one time, and we will make sure it don't happen again.
Here's my thing. It's a difference between a mistake and a moral dilemma, or something that you did that was morally wrong. Okay. That's not a mistake. That's a conscious decision.
Okay.
That's something your subconscious that came up out of you that's already been there.
Okay.
So that's not a mistake. Even going back to my previous thing.
I don't know, big homie, because just hear me out.
Okay.
We've all imitated different voices of other cultures.
Okay.
We probably not did it over a national broadcast area.
That's my point, though.
Okay, that's fair.
That's my point.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
I'm at work.
Yeah.
Me and you at work, right? And we on the line. I'm gonna say, "Hey, nigga, pass me the." I'm not gonna say that. Let's be on the line in front of. It's out like the line. Okay, where I work at now, our line is out in front.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now we in the back of something different.
In a very corporate,
like when we
very executive type of
we
situation.
Was at the country club, we was in the back. That's something different.
Yeah.
Where I'm at now, I'm in a corporate environment, so our line is out front.
Same with me.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna
and our shit echoes.
I'm like, hey nigga, pass me. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's a bad look.
I know where I'm at.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Or even
setting is key.
Even swearing. You know what I'm saying?
I can't.
I mean, out front. Out front. No, I'm not gonna do that out front.
No. I'm motherfucker everywhere.
Well,
motherfucker.
Well, at corporate, at corporate place, I'm not gonna do that. That's just me.
Shit, that motherfucker.
You know,
motherfucker.
so you got to realize where you are. You got to realize your setting.
No, that's true. That's
you know what
true.
I'm saying?
That's true.
And I think, to me, if you do something like that and not realize your setting, you do it again. Now going back, and we have to wrap it up because we get close on time. Wrap it up.
Yeah,
because we got another show to do. But the with the holidays, I'm like, if I can't trust you to know, now if you was a rookie and never had any training,
that's something different.
That's something different. If you come in the door and you say you got all this training, all these credentials, and all this experience, and I can't trust you to not know that one simple thing, not know sharing power. That's one-on-one.
What else you lacking?
What else? What else can I trust you with?
And at that point,
you know what I'm saying?
What you
now,
good
think
for?
Think about you on the line, and it's busy. I don't have I can't stop and say, "Make sure you do." I need you to know. Boom, 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 boom. Cause no, it's got to flow. It's got to flow. So in those cases, man, I can't have you around. You're a liability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, going back to your point,
you're costing me money.
Going back to your point, I think if you're looking at it from a right and wrong perspective, then he should go. But if you're looking at it from a strictly of a business perspective, then you wait around and see what the court of popular opinion says. But anyway, we're hitting that 2-hour mark, so it's time to wrap it on up.
Man, great show today. Great show today.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to everybody that
participated,
jumped in,
watching.
comment. Yep. Both on the I.O.W. network app and on the live stream. We didn't even mean to go live stream. We just got so entrenched in the conversation.
Let's keep it rolling.
Fuck it. It happens.
All right.
But look, episode 79 in the books. Man, 79, man. We rolling on these episodes.
All right.
So we appreciate all the love and support. God willing, we will be back Monday, episode 80.
And we got a special guest on Monday.
Yes, we do.
It's Jeff Salmon.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk.
He's
a Yankee fan, so we're gonna talk about these New York Yankees.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's feeling real good about it.
Straight out of Toronto. He in Toronto.
Yeah.
Not a Blue Jay fan, but a Yankee fan. We're gonna let him explain that.
Yeah, we're gonna need to find that out. But no, appreciate the love and the support. Y'all come on back now. You're here on Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Episode 80. And then go download the I.O.W. network app.
Right.
Go get the app.
And you go to our now we have a Patreon for the I.O.W. network, the radio station. So you go to our Patreon and you want to hear the second half of the sports show. That'll be starting to get uploaded to the Patreon.
Yep.
$3 tier, so $3 tier, $3 a month.
Yeah.
Those $3 go a long way, and you want that's to help us, offset some of the costs and things of that nature, because we're trying to build something here. So
we're building the empire, baby.
Going over to the I.O.W. network Patreon, join one of those tiers. Especially like I said, you're going to hear some exclusive stuff, because we're gonna start after a while, once it build up, doing this stuff strictly for the Patreon.
Yep.
I used to do the Monday tomfoolery. You might start doing some of them just for the Patreon.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, actually, a good idea. We might do like a quick little 10-minute subject talk on something going on in sports.
Right. So we might just do that for the Patreon. So you guys want to.
Y'all hear that? We giving ideas on there.
Some exclusive content. Just join the Patreon. But I say, big homie, let's wrap this on up and get up on the hill.
For sure. Hey, Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
3 in a long time.
I know. Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us again, episode 80. It's been real. Detroit Mail out the building. Wildcard Mar. We out.
Peace.
How y'all feel out there?
Oh, yeah. All right.